Hey everyone, Michael here with Hello Cupcake It's Me, and today is the Saturday check-in. It is August 22nd, 2026, and if you haven't done so already, please hit like, subscribe, check out my book, Carpe Diem Scroto, 365 Daily Affirmations at www.cdsthebook.com, and also go give HelloCupcakeIt'sMe.com some love. And check out the podcast.hellocupcakeitsme.com, and that's updated every uh, Thursday. Sorry, brain fart. So, and TikTok for TikTok Tuesdays. So let's get into it. The reason I'm kind of rushing it this morning is because I only have 30 minutes of recording time on my phone. Don't know why. I have deleted a bunch of crap, but whatever. And I have 2 pages of Q&As that I printed out from people sending me in just random questions. So, anyways, this week has been fairly good. I don't know if it is due to these dopamine patches that I've been using. So I got these off of Walmart, but I purchased this brand thinking it was another brand. The other brand that I was hoping to get was called Good Patches. They have a freaking patch for everything from your menstrual cycle all the way up to um, NAD plus or NDA plus, something like that. I don't know what it stands for, but I wanted the Good Patch brand. Got this knockoff, and it has only like 4 ingredients. One of them is mucuna or muscuna. I'm not even going to try to say that word, but it's got like 12 milligrams of that extract, 5-HTP, which I already take. It's 5 milligrams of that. Lion's mane mushroom extract at 4.5 milligrams, and rhodia extract at 3.5 milligrams. So I will try. Like, those are the ingredients right there. Anyways, so I don't know if it's the patch or just the fact that, it's been an okay week. My lower back and my kidney hip area hurt so bad today. And I am not sure if it is because I've introduced the patches into my world, if it's because of the magnesium spray that I started, or if it is due to all the heavy lifting I did yesterday. And I did a lot of side to side lifting. But I hurt. So, anyways, there's that. Still looking for a primary care doctor, so I'm going to wait until at least Wednesday of next week to give the one doctor that I want time to get back to me. They said that he wouldn't be back in the office until the 23rd. Well, I don't know how. I'm thinking that they meant the 25th, because if today's 22nd and it's, yeah, so I'm thinking that they meant this coming Monday. So I'll give them until Wednesday or Thursday and then try my list of other doctors. So all of that being said, let's get into some of the questions. So I have it broke down into things about my book, things about my mental health journey, some uncomfortable questions, stuff about Hello Cupcake It's Me, things that people don't necessarily see about me, a few things that could really are that could get really interesting on camera, and just a funny haha one. So we'll see what happens. So the very first one is about my book Carpe Diem Scroto, and it says, Michael, looking back, now that Carpe Diem Scroto has been published, is there anything that you wish you would have changed before releasing it? There's not much that I would have wanted to change about my book. I really do love the format and how much went into it. Um, I think one of the biggest things I would have liked to have done was maybe had one more person um, go through the editing process and make sure that everything was, um, just well polished. But above and beyond that, no, there's not anything that I would really think about changing. Uh, Question two to that was also, what part of Carpe Diem Scroto is the most personally revealing for you? Um, the entire book, honestly, is personally revealing for me because it came from a place of authenticity, and when I was feeling the most depressed and upset in life, and just taking that, posting it on social media, and then people on social media telling me, Michael, you should really make this into a book. And it was a few key players in my world at that time that really spurred that on. So had I not had that kind of push, I probably would not have ever released the book. Uh, what is something that you put into the book that you think people completely misunderstand? Um, I don't think that there's really anything inside of the book that people would misunderstand outside of maybe just the correlation between like some of the metaphors that I use to describe how I was feeling at that moment. For those of you who don't know about the book or might be new to my channel, um, you know, during that time period when I was really suffering with my mental health, um, and actively thinking about suicide daily, the moment I woke up, I just started typing. Literally, I just rolled over and started typing on my phone, and I poured my whole heart and soul into that. So there's times where things get very metaphorical, and there's times where things get really kind of almost clinical. And I tried to keep things from sounding too clinical. I just wanted it to be like talking to a friend. And I think, though, that the meat and potatoes of it all uh, would is stuff that we can all relate to, no matter what we're going through in life. I think we can all relate to it. Um, the next one is about my mental health journey, and it says, you've spent a lot of time helping others. Who helps Michael when Michael is the one having a shitty day? Um, that's a really good question, honestly. I have a couple of friends and some family members that I reach out to, but up until just about 2.5 years ago, I didn't have anyone. And I've always been extremely open about my mental health. I've always been extremely open about my suicidal ideations and my struggle and my journey with that. And Hello Cupcake It's Me became a part of that, in that when I first created Hello Cupcake It's Me, it was a way for me to stay accountable and to give myself a voice where even if no one ever read it, I at least got it off of my chest and took my thoughts and put them on digital paper. I now have a really good therapist. She is by far one of the best things that have happened to me in a while, medically speaking. Um, so thankfully, she is very open, very receptive, and very accessible for whenever I need her. If you don't have somebody like that in your life and you live in the United States, you can always call 988. It is a free hotline, and it doesn't matter what you're going through. They have several options on there for, like, if you're a veteran or if you are. They used to have one for the LGBT community, but I think that one's been disconnected. But the operators are still there. So if you call into an operator and you say, "Hey, blah blah," then they can and will, and more likely than not, be the same operators who would have answered like option 3, I think is what it was. um, but that's a really good resource. The other resource is just finding that person that you can absolutely trust, um, and just go from there. um, Do you think that becoming a mental health advocate changed the way you experience your own emotions? Yes and no. Even though I have the mental health background that I do, like educationally speaking and like professionally speaking, because I am a certified peer counselor, um, that part of me doesn't ever fix me, you know? Um, it's kind of like the car mechanic's car is always breaking down, or the plumber's uh, always having plumbing issues, but they'll go out and fix everyone else, but they never fix their own stuff. And it's kind of like that for me. Part of what brought me into becoming a peer counselor was the fact that I was seeking help and could not find it, and the help that I had available to me was not quality help, and it was very forceful, very anti-intuitive help. And this was at a county state medical facility. And that's when I pulled myself out. I was like, absolutely not. You're not going to like tell me 5 minutes after meeting me that you're going to take me off all of that, you're going to put me on all these different medications, that you're going to do all of these different treatments for me, when for the last 6 years at that time, I had been seen at that facility. What happened was they sold the business, fired all the old time employees that had like 30, 40 years of experience with the community and just in general. They fired all of them because they were making way too much money. How you can make too much money helping people is beyond me, but whatever. Um, and hired in all of these new graduates that were fresh out of college and had this really romantic idea of what mental health treatment was going to be like for people, and so on and so forth. And um, when my psychologist of, I think she was in the field for 45 years at that point, did the warm handoff to the new person, as soon as the door closed, woman never looked at me and just started rattling off everything off of this clipboard. Okay, well, I'm going to do this, this, this. No, 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 you're not. Stop. First of all, the first 5 medications that you just uh, rattled off, I've been on before. That this one completely counteracts the fact that I'm diabetic and does not work well with insulin. This one affects kidneys in diabetics and never worked on me. I was on this one for 4 years prior to this and it never worked. This one causes me to have severe migraines, and this one here causes my heart to have an arrhythmia. So, no, we're not going on those. Well, as your provider, that's what I'm going to be putting you on. I said, well, then you're not my fucking provider, and got up and left. So, um, that's how I started my journey of learning about mental health and becoming an advocate for mental health, and accidentally becoming a certified peer counselor is because I saw the need for that within the community and within people in general. And by helping others, it typically tends to help me. So, um, what's a piece of advice you give other people that you sometimes have trouble following yourself? Everything. Every fucking thing. I am the king of let me fix you while I'm held together with a hope and a prayer and like duct tape and falling apart completely on the inside. I can be absolutely fucking devastatedly crushed on the inside, and I will put all of my shit aside to help somebody else. That's one of my toxic traits. And that also comes from a place of childhood trauma where I had to regulate other people's emotions before I could regulate my own emotions. And because of that, I bottle a lot of stuff up. I don't set healthy boundaries, and I have a people pleasing side of me that will allow you to walk all over me and beat me like a dog begging for scraps and still come to you for petting. So, that is something that I'm working on desperately with my therapist and my group therapy.